Good evening, guys. We just crash landed. There's a nice individual. An individual very hard to catch. But don't give excuses. He's very hard to catch, but it's a privilege to speak to him because he's a man. We call him the legend because he's a legend behind esports. A former clanmate as well. Okay, who are you actually?
Thank you for the honors, but yeah, I'm Ramesh. Hi, I'm the secretary of the Lanka Esports Association, and nice to meet you.
That's Ramesh. Ramesh, what do you think about this atmosphere? What is the whole point? There's an Olympic logo I see. Can you explain it further, please?
We just completed the Lanka Esports Association's AGM. So this is something we hold every 2 years. And basically, SLESA is all about the governance and giving structure to the esports landscape and ecosystem in Sri Lanka. So what we had today here was the AGM to elect the board for the next 2 years and also discuss and come to agreements on disputes that clans have, problems that they face, and see how we can support as an association to take esports forward. So the primary vision is to take esports to the number one level, to make it the biggest sport, the best sport, better than cricket. So that's the goal and that's where we're going. And the reason we chose this venue for the AGM is because we've been working in very close touch with the National Olympic Committee before this for many years, and they've been supporting esports just alongside the sports ministry and many other entities in the country as well as overseas. So which is why we chose to have the AGM here and give this sort of structured atmosphere that the auditorium has, where you have the seating, you have the main head table that's on a stage, and gives that sort of elevated governance structure as well, so that new clans that come into the system understand that they are part of a bigger system and that they have a roadmap and a goal to go ahead with. So even though you start off playing games at home for casual purposes, just for fun with friends after maybe a long day's work or school or whatever, at some point you can take that career to the next level, be a professional esports athlete. There is a support system that will support you along the way. That's the main goal of SLESA and all of us, what we do here. Yeah,
so for everyone who doesn't understand what SLESA means, we got it right from the secretary itself, okay? So you guys need to understand what we are doing here. The whole point of this is to promote esports and give a good image and a better image rather than people actually boasting wrong things about it. So that is why DecibelLK is here to get you exclusive interviews about the main people behind this. Ramesh, also I need to ask you a very good question. I don't know whether it will be very traumatizing to ask this question.
Traumatizing things are always not encouraged, but...
So let's talk about how we can improve. How can we get these teams to come to the top 10 in the international levels? Let's take Southeast Asia.
South Asia, you mean, right? So in terms of South Asia, so how it starts is basically, I'd say there's two things that you need, or three. Passion is of course number one. You need to have the passion to actually do well. So it's the same in anything, not just esports, in life in general. If you lack the passion, no matter what you have, it doesn't work. Number two would be the resources and the support to get there. So obviously, even though you have passion, you need to have the sort of support. That comes in two ways. You might have a coach, for example, in your clan or your team, or you could be someone who looks at VODs or videos online, watch others, pro athletes, how they play, their gameplay, look closely at what they do, the mistakes they make, and then try to learn yourself, fix yourself. And of course the third would be the motivation from those around you, because I think that's a big factor as well. Even though if you're a sole survivor who's just fighting alone, it works for some people, not that it doesn't, but in the long run, when you have people who support you, that could be your parents, sometimes just having a father or mother who brings a child to a tournament and then supports them. We've seen that happen, and then stays with them through the whole match, stays with them through the whole tournament, and just goes back. That itself is a big deal, right? The fact that you have a parent, that you have a sibling, that you have a friend who'd be there, who'd support you along the way, that gives a lot of strength, and that itself instills confidence for you to take on any challenge. Obviously it's a ladder, right? You need to start small. You'd start off with the more, I'd say, the casual leagues. You work yourself up across the pro leagues and then go tier by tier. It's not, no one starts off on the top level. So there's a journey to go there, is what I want to say. So it takes time, especially because we are in Sri Lanka, because the South Asian teams, the bigger countries have much bigger landscapes in terms of esports. They have bigger coaches and boot camps, all sorts of structures that are in place. So in Sri Lanka, it's getting there, but it takes time. And then we have a lot of organizations within SLASA also driving that same spirit, and that's what we want to inculcate in the other organizations as well. As they grow, the players will also get the skill to be able to compete and beat their opponents. So that takes time. It's a skill gap that sometimes we have, and we've seen how it has improved. So in certain games, like for example PUBG Mobile, in the recent ESF World Championship, our Sri Lankan team actually competed across the world, like with teams across the world, and they came up to the top 16.
And also we beat Nigma Galaxy, the Iranian esports one as well, right?
So the thing is, like, it's the fact is that the nit and the determination should be there. So that's, I think, something that we've seen across the past few tournaments, that we've seen the players have, and it's improving them along the way, and we want to give them the additional push to take them the distance and put Sri Lanka right on top. So we have the skill, we have the talent. It's just the little things that we need to sort out, so that we can face the challenge and beat our opponents in South Asia and then the world.
Ramesh, one more question just to sign off. I mean, we discussed about a roadmap. Can you briefly explain people what the roadmap would be? Just briefly.
Oh, well, there's quite a lot of exciting things happening across the year, so bear with me, I don't remember everything off the top of my head. So as we presented earlier today during the AGM, we would be basically announcing this all on the Sri Lanka Esports Association socials. So basically our Sri Lanka Esports Facebook page, Instagram handle and stuff like that. So I'd suggest you follow that. But just to give you a very brief overlook, we have quite a number of tournaments coming up in terms of overseas activities, stuff from the International Esports Federation, the Global Esports Federation, and of course the main event, I'd say, internationally this year is the Asian Games, because Asian Games is the mini Olympics. That's how it's considered. You have the Olympics, then you have the Asian Games, then you have SAF Games and stuff like that. So the Asian Games, which was actually postponed from 2022 if I'm not mistaken, was the first time that we are having esports as a medal sport. So we have players who would be representing Sri Lanka to earn a medal, just like an athlete, like a athletics runner, for example. A 400 meter sprinter would run and earn a medal. We have that opportunity here as people from playing esports are able to go win a medal for the country. So because of that, the Asian Games is quite the hype, and the first time that esports is recognized in that way. So that's our biggest event for the year, to send our athlete to that and see how they compete and take part. Of course, locally we have tournaments that are also being organized. We had a couple last year, like the All Island Free Fire tournament, the district level Free Fire tournament. So we have a couple of things along the way, and also the Esports Award ceremony, which is also happening in, I think, on the 9th, which is Thursday. Yes, it's coming Thursday. So that's something we'll be actually showing, or rather awarding 4 years, because we couldn't do this with the pandemic. We had issues, so we are doing 3 of, I forget the number of years now. So we are doing multiple years in this one ceremony, and then taking that forward annually. So we used to do this with the SLCG. I think viewers on Decibel know, I think it's not a secret, you've seen us with SLCG, and Yasmin and the team has been always with us with SLCG. So we have not been able to do the award ceremony these past few years, because we were not doing any LAN events due to the situation in the country with the pandemic and all that. This is the first one after that. So besides the award ceremony, we have a couple of other things also lined up. So stay tuned. I don't want to give it all away. So let's see.
I mean, Ramesh, that's amazing. And Ramesh, just want to know, since you were talking about Decibel, what do you think about Decibel at the moment?
I mean, Yasmin and Decibel have, I think, the work they've put in terms of promoting music, and big fan. So I mean, Yasmin knows this. So great work, and really appreciate all the effort that Decibel has taken, to promote music and now esports as well. So it's a great I'd say a challenge in this time to keep growing and doing what you do. So it's amazing to see how the team has expanded, how you all have new faces, and it's great to see the effort and care being put in. It's not just content being created for the sake of content, and there's actual care and passion, and you see the dedication So yeah, I could go on and on for that. So, but I'm just gonna leave it at that. So yeah, super job.
This is Sri Lankan Esports, guys, because this is like most of the people may not be knowing what's happening actually, but these are the people who are in front, who is driving esports. Stay tuned, guys, because this is the future of esports. This is how we need to evolve as a community, and stay tuned.